Hi friends, it's Sudhya from Backyard Garden Highlights. Hope you guys are doing great today. Today the weather looks nice, so I thought it would be nice to share how the garden looks like. So let me take you guys to the garden and show you garden tour. This is the new raised bed I just created using leaf mold. Basically I collected all the leaves during fall and I just put along with some soil. But again I planted some tulips, iris, daffodils, everything in the same bed. Wherever I planted I made sure soil is there. I hope this method works and still the plants comes through. But I could see a lot of new growths now. Let's go and see those new growths now. Here you can see, I think this one is daffodil. I could see from the top, and this one is iris. I have grown this last year. Yeah, I think a lot of new growths. I'm getting these new growths in January. Really awesome, and I hope they survive some more harsh winter time for about 4 weeks. And once spring starts, they come fresh. You could see some leaves came out. This raised bed was completely made of maybe 50% leaf and 50% soil. The entire raised bed, I think all new growths coming in. Let's go and see how the other raised bed looks and what are the plants we could see now in January. This was the raised bed I had when we moved into this house. I've been using this raised bed for vegetable gardening primarily. Last summer I actually planted banana. We love to eat using the banana leaves, so we planted here. It's a cold hardy variety. Basically every fall we have to cut up to 1 or 2 inches into the ground level and cover it with mulch. So this is my first year. I had a lot of baby plants out of this one plant that I purchased. So I actually transplanted one baby plant inside my house, and I will show you in the indoor plant tour how it looks now. I hope this banana tree comes alive after spring starts. You could see a lot of greens here. All these are self-seeded by Shasta daisy that was there entirely. I am thinking of giving up some of these plants to my friends so that they could enjoy the blooms. So I have shown this banana tree. So next we have all Shasta daisy here. They used to look like a full green, but this year like they look so slimy. I'll be cutting up to 1 or 2 inches up to the ground level, and I will show you guys how I'm doing the spring cleanup activity in my next video. This is a lettuce plant. It's a perennial in zone 6B. It was looking really great and healthy until maybe mid of December, but I think after mid of December and January, I think it got spoiled. It looks so slimy. I think I just learned that it's good to either cover them with any plastic tub or anything if I need to harvest these during winter, or I could just cut them up to root level so that it doesn't look mushy. Let me show you guys. You could see a fresh leaf inside this slimy thing, right? This is the lettuce. So if we remove this slimeness, you still have a nice plant inside. I'll not be using, I'll be showing how I'm cleaning this. But I think next year onwards I should just cut them up to this ground level so that I don't need to really deal with this slimy stuff. This one is knockout rose. So this actually grown very fast. It's just a 1 year growth. I think I had purchased this for $5 and this has really grown well. So once spring starts, right, like everything will be looking gorgeous. I could see like everywhere nice buds. So see here, everywhere the buds are all over. So I'm so happy. Strong plants, and it has really given a lot of strong branches. And the next one I have is tea rose. This one, like when I planted, this plant was huge in size than this one. When I look now, both are actually equal size. Moreover, like this has lot of strong branches than this one. Maybe this is a strong branch, but not that many. And you can see branches are in a different size. So I want to keep the plant look at the same level. So maybe in spring I'll be trimming this longer branch. But otherwise, I think, yeah, this plant also looks healthy and strong. Next is mint. So mint, guys, I think it's really, I don't know like what right term to use. This is taking over this entire raised bed. In my cleanup activity, I need to remove all these and make sure that maybe I need to put some stone around the plant base so that it doesn't take over this raised bed garden. But you could see how much they have spread. Like initially I had only in that space. Now this has grown this entire space. Okay, now let's see what are all the plants activity in the raised bed garden. This is actually hollyhock. I direct sowed them around July last year. Should be flowering this year, but I need to stake them because they are like tall plants. But I'm hoping that I will see some blooms from these plants this year. And then I have some of my bachelor butter fall planted, and I was just trying it out and they look healthy and strong, so I think they should be able to start blooming in spring. And then I have my gladiolus. I had just one row of planted here, but that plant produced a very nice and unique bloom. I really loved it. This raised bed I created only in last fall, almost into winter. And I have also planted tulip, hyacinths and daffodil. But I'll share you guys how I created this raised bed. You could see the difference from last year garden to this year. I have all filled my walk-in spaces with wood chips. One of my friends, she had lot of wood chips in her house, and she was helping me with this wood chips. So I was so thankful to her, and it's really means a lot to me because during the growing season, the amount of weeds that I get from here and the amount of time I spend to weed them, that became very hectic. And I'm very thankful to Bhavna that she was able to help me with this wood chips. Now let's look at the new raised bed that I created last year. So this is how it looks now. It's not looking so beautiful at this time, and of course it is understandable, it's still winter, but I'm really looking forward for the spring to come and see some plants pop up because most of my perennial plants planted last year. So let's take a closer look. This is the yarrow plant. See how beautiful they are looking. I really love how they look now. See, the seed heads are like so beautiful. This is again an experiment to leave yarrow plants in the ground without cutting them and see how they look. And the yarrow plant looked to be good actually. Like you can see a lot of greens in there, although they are not looking so fresh. This much green in winter is definitely nice to have. So I'm going to leave my yarrow plants next year also without cutting them. I may need to stake them so it looks pretty also. And then all these tiny plants, I actually used a softwood cutting from my boxwood, and I was just trying to experiment if they are going to survive. I planted entire row, but yarrow plant covered that space, so I don't know whether they are still surviving, but I could see at least 4 or 5 plants survive. But I think they will take a couple of years to become a bushy plant. But it's good to always learn, get some free seedlings from your own garden, right? And you can see all these are petunias I did not clean up in my fall. So I should be doing that sometime soon. And this is actually painted daisy, and it had 1 or 2 blooms, and the rabbit actually damaged all the buds and I did not enjoy much. Hopefully this year it comes vigorous and I could enjoy more blooms. And these are all yarrow, and you can see how beautiful they are at this point. I really love how they look. And I have just spreaded a couple of plants only. I think if it is in mass quantity, it's going to look amazing. And especially I love this one. Wow. And then you could see a lot of volunteer plants here and there. Yarrow, they self-seeded. Instead of crowding here, I may be planting them in another location. This is my peony. Only thing that I did not plan well is this entire slimy area. That's the Shasta daisy. I had 10 plants, around 10 plants planted here. And once they grow up in summer, peony did not really get enough sun, so I'm thinking whether I should dig this plant and move to another space, or I need to dig this and move to another space, because this was actually like too much crowded and flopping over. I'm still thinking maybe I'll decide during spring, but you can see like it's completely filled with slime. I just learned that it's good to cut them to ground level so that we don't have to handle this slimy leaves. But it's all part of learning, because last year I don't know, maybe I started cleaning up in April last spring. I did not see this, but this time I'm noticing, because maybe it's in January, maybe by February, March it goes away. I don't know. And then this is again another yarrow, and they look nice too. And this is my mons. I just planted here just to save the plant and see if it perennializes here around maybe November. I don't know whether it had enough time to establish the root growth from when I transplanted. Let's see my luck. And that's another mum's plant. Hopefully that comes this spring, because I planted that maybe around fall itself. So let's see. And then you could see something has come and munched all the plants. Should be rabbit, I don't know. These are all my grape hyacinths, and this is my iris. But hopefully in spring they come again with a nice growth. So you could see all these are like grape hyacinths, giant hyacinths, iris, think tulip did not start yet. I could see only hyacinths and grape hyacinths. And this one actually is cinnamon basil. I just left them to look vertical structure to see how they look during snow time, because this has a little small clumpy structure, right? So when snow accumulates on top of that bloom structure, I wanted to see whether they look nice or not. And also I think it will help as a plant support for these hyacinths and grape hyacinths. So let's see how it looks in spring, and then I will be removing those dead branches. Next one I have is this one. You could see those are Snapdragon. It's quite interesting. Those are actually annuals, but I did not see that plant dead yet. It's almost we crossed very harsh winters. I think the temperature is going to rise up in February. So I see them still alive and I see some green. So I'm really looking to see what's going to happen this spring actually. So if they survive and if they are going to bloom for me again, that's really awesome. I don't know, like I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen. Fingers crossed. Okay, and I have all my Gladiolus combs there, and I have mulched them thoroughly so that they act as a perennial, because I know zone 6B Gladiolus is not perennial officially, but I had seen couple of combs came again last year from my previous year planting. So I thought, why don't I try this year? So I mulched the entire area with chips, and hopefully this spring I see some Gladiolus plants coming again. Fingers crossed. Okay, and then that area you could see like they are bumped little than the level. Entire area is covered with at least maybe half feet or more than that mulch, because I am trying new thing. I have just left dahlia tubers in that area, and that plastic sheet I have put here, and then I have mulched more than half feet. So it's an experiment. So if I get that maybe around April or end of March or April, I'll be releasing this mulch and try to see if dahlia can grow. So that's an experiment. I'm waiting to see the result in next few months. That's pretty much guys about today's garden tour. Alright guys, hope you guys liked watching this video. I'll see you in the next video. Please support my channel by subscribing, commenting and sharing it with your friends.